Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of History of Gaming Metal Gear. As I'm sure you've guessed, we're still plucking away at Metal Gear Solid 5. For this game not having enough story, quote unquote, it is pretty long. Because the gameplay makes you do a lot. Takes a lot out of you. Has high expectations. Good game though. Not a bad game. Don't let anybody tell you it's bad. It's just not as good as it could have been. So, last time we played, I think we were finding out Kid Psycho Mantis was screwing with Kid Liquid.
Boss, about that AI pod you retrieved
Oh.
from Emmerich's research facility.
And we did this.
Guess what we found inside? A corpse. Human. The pod maintained a low internal temperature the whole time, and very little outside air got in. That would have slowed down decomposition. Still, the remains were mostly skeletal. Estimated time of death is between 6 months and a year ago. We put the screws to Huey about it. Listen to the tape. Turns out it was the body of someone we knew very well.
You have been trained. I love it. Infinitely entertaining.
Please select a mission.
I select the mission. I don't like that. 60%? 20% losses?
Unit dispatched.
I need to work on getting more,
Unit dispatched.
more peeps.
Thanks for that, boss.
Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Wait a minute. You wake up? Hey! Assassin Owl? They got names now?
Roger.
Alright, let's jump up in here. Oh man. Trying to snipe from a chopper? Damn near impossible. From a... What movie was it? The Full Metal Jacket? Some guy's like blasting people from a chopper.
Boss, about that AI pod you retrieved from Emmerich's research facility. Guess what we
Dude.
found inside? A corpse.
I know.
Human. The pod maintained a low internal temperature the whole time, and very little outside air got in. That would have slowed down decomposition. Still, the remains were mostly skeletal. Estimated time of death is between 6 months and a year ago. We put the screws to Huey about it. Listen to the tape. Turns out it was the body
I'm
of
rank
someone
1.
we knew very well.
In my PF group, I'm rank 1 for whatever reason. I only have draws and winning.
Staff assigned.
I couldn't be doing more to lose. Alright, so we got some cassette tapes to listen to.
Fine. Yes, Strangelove was doing AI research in that lab. Why hide that until now? Why? Okay, so what? I wasn't working alone. You've got to understand. You do understand, right? I didn't want to drag her into this. It's my load to bear, alone.
So you didn't create the AI intended to drive Sahelanthropus. It was Strangelove.
Skullface was never in favor of AI control. So naturally they argued. Strangelove, she got him angry and he killed her.
How? You didn't see it? So you found her inside that pod after the fact. And you just left her body to rot in there. Or perhaps you put her in there afterward.
I asked him not to take her away from me.
So she was killed by Skullface, but you asked nicely, and he put her body in the AI pod for you?
That's right.
Pathetic. You know, we have another idea. That you killed her.
What, me? I couldn't kill her.
You killed her and locked her body in the pod.
I wouldn't. Don't treat me like one of you. I can't just kill anyone whenever I feel like it. I'm a normal human being.
Oh, I see. So you just shut her inside and waited for her to die.
I would never do that.
What, you mean she killed herself?
Yes. She climbed inside that pod and shut the door. It can't be opened from the outside. It was suicide. Suicide, I said. She killed herself. She got in when I wasn't looking and suffocated. She'd often try to do things like that. By the time I realized and opened the door, she wasn't breathing. I got scared and shut the pod again. I couldn't bring myself to open it back up. That's right. Me? Kill her? What is wrong with you?
I see. Just tell me one more thing.
Haven't you gotten enough today?
Okay, I see it's a painful memory. You don't have to answer, just listen to the question. You see, we examined her remains. She had a scar on her lower abdomen, a surgical scar. It had been stitched up and had fully healed, meaning it was long before her death. She had a child, didn't she? Your child. Where's the kid?
How should I know?
So there is a child.
I've never seen his face.
What do you take us for?
They took it all. Even my child. I didn't even know he'd been born. I lost everything.
How old would he be?
It's 4 years since then.
And you know it's a boy.
Strangelove said so.
And his name?
We called him Hal, even though I never saw his face.
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete. At that point, I will no longer be of use to him. I must leave behind this record at least. A record of how the ancient vocal cord parasites became these abominable ethnic cleansing parasites. I believe he has two purposes for the ethnic cleansing parasites. The first, as their name suggests, is ethnic cleansing. This conflict between East and West that envelops the world will not last much longer. Once the Cold War ends, and the weight of America and the Soviet Union is lifted away, the ethnic conflicts they kept suppressed will all rise to the surface. It is not difficult to imagine that the radical sides will begin cleansing their adversaries. But what if an ethnic cleansing parasite matching the language of the aggressors were to be unleashed? The aggressors would be washed off the earth. At the very least, the idea that retaliation could eradicate your people would prove a powerful deterrent. The second purpose is the Englishization of the world. To cipher the organization, this is probably their main use. Man thinks in words, or rather, words are man's very means of thinking. If you erase a word representing some concept, the concept itself disappears from the world. Nishone means beautiful in Navajo, but the image that comes to mind when we say Nishone differs from the Blagana's beautiful. An azure sky, a rolling landscape, lush greenery. The meaning we place in Nishone has its roots in Dene culture. If we lose the word Nishone, the images of our beautiful homeland would be washed away into oblivion along with it, just as Orwell indicated years ago. Cipher, being based in America, is pushing Englishization for this very reason. Suppose all 5 billion people on this planet come to read, speak, and think in English. Their wills could also be streamlined under English. Cipher's control would be all the easier. Economic governance would progress in leaps and bounds. The ethnic cleansing parasites would be a great aid in accomplishing this goal. There is no need to destroy every language besides English. All they need to do is weaken other dominant languages competing with it. Russian, Chinese, Arabic. If people know they risk their lives speaking such languages, they will flock to the lingua franca that is English. Cipher need not even focus attention on smaller languages. After all, they are already being eaten away by English. Business, education, film, commodities. English has permeated every area of global society. I can see this when I look at young Dene. Some of them have already lost their grasp of the Navajo language. It is said that over 2,000 languages of the world are facing extinction. This very moment, cultural concepts and forms of expression are disappearing forever. The spread of electronic networks gives greater meaning to Englishization. Networks have no national borders, but basing them on a single language, they can penetrate deeper into and between people. That basic point of unity provides the ideal environment for someone who aims to control people's wills. But how does this differ from building the Tower of Babel? The ethnic cleansing parasites attempt to rob man of his words. Such irony. It was the vocal cord parasites that gave words to him in the first place. Ancient man had no language. Unable to produce complex sounds due to the structure of the throat, he could communicate only through simple vocalizations and gestures. Then the vocal cord parasites infected his larynx. Man's transition to walking upright did not gift him solely with intelligence, but also with his voice. At the time, the vocal cord parasites never harmed man. They merely took a small measure of nourishment. In fact, you could call it a symbiotic relationship. Some animal species use particular vocalization patterns to attract a female and reproduce. Songbirds, certain insects, and also the vocal cord parasites. The difference is that the parasites themselves did not produce sounds. Rather, they had their hosts, man, do it for them. Once secure on the human host vocal cords, a male vocal cord parasite caused the host to produce a certain sound pattern, something like a warble of a bird. Meanwhile, females parasitizing other host pharynxes need only wait. Upon hearing the sound pattern of an attractive mate, they would manipulate their hosts into making contact with the person it came from. The female traveled through his host's saliva to the other host's vocal cords, where the male was waiting and the pair copulated. We can only imagine how the female manipulated his host, but it was probably through smell. Smells traveled directly to the limbic system via the olfactory cilia in the nasal cavity. Volatile compounds released by the female would stimulate the limbic system, which controls instincts, making the host feel amorous. This kind of sexual selection naturally led to competition between the male parasites. Males that had their hosts produce sounds perceived by females as more attractive succeeded in copulating and producing offspring. Evolutionary traits caused by sexual selection are curious. The peacock's feathers, the mannequin's dance, the firefly's luminescence pattern. Even with courtship behaviors that are not advantageous to survival, those individuals that excel in them produce offspring, and it escalates with each generation. The same was true of the vocal cord parasites. Courtship vocalization rhythms and intonations became more sophisticated, and in order for man to produce such sounds, they had to alter his vocal organs. By lowering the position of the larynx and developing resonating chambers, they enabled more complex pronunciations. But that was not all. The vocal cord parasites activated a transcription factor that would later control man's language ability. A protein that, due to its appearance, is called Four-Kid Box Protein P2, or FOXP2. Activating this transcription factor led to the development of brain function capable of creating sophisticated frequency changes. This was the pinnacle of the vocal cord parasite's prosperity. However, this sophisticated pronunciation control was too useful for man to ignore. Once human sexual activity ceased to be only seasonal, and having lost pigment-based sexual characteristics, distinctive vocalizations became the most effective means for humans to attract mates as well. Combined with logic pathways hardwired into the brain, or universal grammar, it was not long before advanced communication was possible. This was the birth of language. Luckily for man, it was around this time that a particular retrovirus was circulating. While not lethal, it infected not only man, but the vocal cord parasites as well. It is presumed that this virus removed part of the parasite's DNA and reverse transcribed it into man's reproductive cells. It was a vector. Among the genes it transcribed were the ones responsible for the production of language. The vocal cord parasite's vocalization genes were written into the human genome. The parasites were no longer of any use to man now. Man could use his voice as he pleased when he pleased, hindering the parasite's courtship vocalizations. Having lost their opportunity to reproduce, the parasites died out, leaving behind only the transcribed genes. The vocal cord parasites were once in symbiosis with man. Its genes even became a part of his. Humans and parasites are extremely close. As such, it will be extremely difficult for man's immune system to eliminate the vocal cord parasites.
Development complete.
Even cutting them out will be no simple matter, which is exactly why these ethnic cleansing parasites are such a formidable weapon. The rise of the vocal cord parasites goes back approximately 300 million years to the Permian period. At that time, they were not even parasites, but predatory autotrophs. They are believed to have been the common ancestor to the Pentastemida and the Cyclops genus of copepods. However, Earth's environment underwent a violent change at the end of the Permian period. The cause is unclear, but evidence suggests that over 90% of the Earth's organisms at that time died out. The most pronounced threat to the protoparasites was the severe reduction in oxygen concentration. The result was cladogenesis, a splitting that gave birth to a new strain that could parasitize other organisms' respiratory apparatus. This survival tactic helped lower their oxygen consumption, and inhabiting the throat kept them securely in contact with inhaled air. The best survivors were those that parasitized the reptiles that flourished at the time. Entering the Triassic period, the reptiles evolved into dinosaurs, and the protoparasites shared in their success. Dinosaurs developed respiratory organs called air sacs to adapt to the low oxygen environment. These in particular helped the protoparasites thrive. But another trial awaited them. The end of the Triassic period saw another drastic change in the Earth's environment. For most parasites, the male and female take the same host. Many are, in fact, hermaphrodites. Originally, the vocal cord parasites were as well. But for any strain to ride out a severe environmental change, it must secure a steady pool of genetic diversity. Another split. Now the newest strain procreated with mates found in other hosts. And in order to increase its encounters with those mates, the new strain utilized the voice of its host. They came to inhabit the host's vocal cords. This truly was the birth of the vocal cord parasite. The parasites developed the host's pharynx to form resonating chambers and used them to produce sophisticated mating calls. The relatively upright posture of the dinosaurs was important in this, because the crooked L-shaped pharynx was more suited to the development of resonating chambers. These developments ushered in a time of great prosperity for the parasites. But for the third time, the parasites had a major hurdle to overcome. The meteorite impact at the end of the Cretaceous period, which spelled the end of the dinosaurs. With their hosts extinct, the vocal cord parasites had no option but to find a new habitat. Birds. As genetic successors to the dinosaurs, with functioning air sac apparatus already in place, birds were the perfect choice. But the parasites could not survive in birds that flew at high altitudes with thinner air, so they parasitized ground-dwelling birds and altered their respiratory system for the sake of reproduction. They gave the birds the means to produce sophisticated sounds, the syrinx responsible for chirping. This is the proof that points to activation of FOXP2 in songbirds as well as humans. The Cenozoic era began with a rise in oxygen concentration, which helped mammals to evolve and increase in size. The parasites then shifted to humans as a more effective host. Humans' bipedal upright walking meant that our throats could support larger resonating chambers. At first, vocal cord parasites entered humans using birds as their intermediate host. But eventually they changed to conducting their entire life cycle within human hosts. What happened next is as I have already described. People took the vocalizing prowess given them by the parasites and made it language. And once the parasites could no longer use it as their mating call, they died out. Or in other words, the parasites overcame all evolutionary hurdles except humanity. Skullface shared his opinion on this matter. He said the Ethnic Cleansers Project was sure to succeed. After all, the parasites had a grudge against us humans. To think we awoke them after such a long slumber, just so they could sate their thirst for vengeance. It is terrible, unforgivable, and yet, it is what I have done. I learned of the vocal cord parasite's existence in literature belonging to the Foundation. It was little more than a theory. The question was, why does only Homo sapiens among all primates have highly developed language? Human versus everything else. The missing link between these was the mystery that gave rise to this theory. I was fascinated by the idea of their existence. In the Dene creation myth, the Neo Dene, who first inhabited the world, were insect-like creatures. I came to imagine that those insect-like creatures could be humans living in symbiosis with the vocal cord parasites. But I had not the faintest idea of how I could resurrect them. That is when Skullface came to me. What he offered me was not just assistance with my metallic archaea research. He told me the vocal cord parasites really existed. And not only did they exist, they had already been brought back to life in the modern age. An ancient human cadaver, host to the parasites of the time. Cypher excavated such a cadaver from a permafrost region and isolated the DNA coding of the vocal cord parasites. Naturally, they were long dead and could not be brought back, but there was an alternate vessel they could use. A relative species of the Pentastomida discovered in China. It had adapted to live in the nasal cavity of animal hosts, but its genetic sequence showed signs of common ancestry with the vocal cord parasites. Ontogenesis, the path of an organism to maturity, is like a roadmap of the phylogenetic evolution of the entire strain. Cypher used this to effect a reverse evolution of the modern parasite and resurrect the vocal cord parasites. They interposed a developmental mechanism to the ontogenetic stage analogous to when the relative species first appeared, the point at which it split from the vocal cord parasites, forcing its evolution down the other path, the vocal cord parasite path. The larvae this produced were the vocal cord parasites, reborn. I do not know in detail how Cypher accomplished this, but clearly they have access to high-level genetic technologies. Skullface said it was the work of a genius woman scientist, and that the relative species in question was first discovered by a group once called the Philosophers. I was tasked with modifying the resurrected parasites. He charged me with two demands. First, to add lethality to these organisms that had once lived in peace with man, by unleashing the larvae's latent desire to consume nutrients from the host's lung tissue, making them eat and eat until the lungs were destroyed. Second, to have both male and female inhabit the same host and copulate then and there, only when exposed to specific pronunciations continuously over an extended time. What he would do to the Diné if I failed. I had no choice. Originally, the ultimate objective of the ethnic cleansing parasite project was the identification of not only languages, but of actual cultures. Language is deeply connected to ethnicity, but many languages are employed by multiple ethnic groups, and confrontation between those ethnic groups is by no means rare. If the cleanser parasites were to be a deterrent against ethnic conflict, they had to distinguish between groups using means other than pure language. The original plan called for this to be achieved by differences in the transmission vector. Each ethnic group has different lifestyle customs and eating habits. For instance, parasites living in shallow water and taken in through the skin could be used to target rice farming groups, or parasites using cows as their intermediate host would be ineffective against cultures that abstain from eating beef. But that is a lofty goal indeed. The current parasites mainly rely on droplet transmission. It would take extensive time to alter the transmission route. I eventually learned that the Ethnic Cleansers project had been shut down. It was Skullface who put it back into operation. But despite that, he told me to forget about the transmission route and just focus on language identification. I do not know why. I understand that the Chinese philosophers who discovered the relative species of parasite originally planned to develop a phonogrammic Alexia parasite. The left temporoparietal region is home to the part of the brain that identifies the phonetic symbols of the English language. They wished to create a strain that would parasitize that region and suppress its literacy functions. The brain area responsible for identifying the logographs of Chinese, meanwhile, is in the left middle frontal gyrus, meaning that even if native speakers of Chinese were infected with the parasite, their literacy would be unaffected. Old and new, east and west, there is no limit to the delusions of those in power. But this delusion threatens to become a reality. I have to do something to stop this. There must be something I can do.
Ya'at-e. You disappoint me. Have you forgotten my face?
Leave me be.
You won't respond to anyone else, so I figured it must be me you wanted to see. But now you won't even look at me.
Have I not suffered enough?
Not until you've eased my suffering first. To tell you the truth, old man, I'm in a bit of a bind. It's about your children. You know what I mean? The parasites. The ones that infect a man's throat, killing him if he speaks their language.
They must not be allowed to multiply.
You are allowed to live only in order to help me. But you don't want to, do you? So why not choose death instead? Because you want to protect the Diné and their land from me. That's your purpose, isn't it? Don't lose sight of that now. It's in your interest to cooperate. Because if you don't...
Madness.
The parasites can't detect your people's tongue. So I'll just have to resort to more heavy-handed means. I have the greatest respect for your people. I would rather avoid such a thing, but we don't always get our way. I was born a tiny mote in a mighty tempest, and until those winds abate, all I can choose is how to act when they blow me this way or that. Tell me, Code Talker, what happens to a man infected with a pair of your parasites? Can they be removed? Can the full-blown symptoms be prevented?
It is impossible to remove the parasites alone. They have too close an affinity with humans.
Then how do you stop the symptoms from developing? All right. I was hoping for an answer now, but perhaps you just need a little more time. I'll be back soon. I've set up shop, not far from here. We'll be seeing a lot more of each other.
If you're close by, then it is almost complete.
We're in the final phases. All that's left is to see if I can actually disable a nuke, with the help of your metallic archaea. Once that's done, I won't have to return here again, and your suffering will end, as will your people's. We're almost finished, Code Talker, each in our own way.
My only regret will be not finishing you.
There's nothing stopping you. I'm only alive because you want me that way.
Ridiculous.
As you wish. My regret is this misunderstanding between us. You and I, our goal is the same. We should be working together. A symbiosis.
You do not know my mind. I simply want the Diné bloodline to endure.
Really now? You're just another mote in the storm. How you react to all the slings and arrows, that's what counts. That's why you call those squirming monsters your children.
What I have done is forbidden. Forgive me, all of you.
The world should be left the way it is. You of all men should know that. Forgive me, but my schedule has changed. The time for grace and good manners has now run out.
Please. Torture will not work on me. Surely you know this.
Oh, I have no intention of getting rough with you. You haven't been beaten. Your hands aren't even tied. Just like me, you live in symbiosis with countless parasites. What wounds I might inflict, they'll patch right up. You might feel considerable pain, but I've no doubt you can withstand it.
Then what do you plan on doing?
I have a soldier standing outside. Nothing special about him, except that he always obeys. I have given him one instruction. Whenever I ring this bell, he passes on a message for me. That message is simply, go.
What is this?
After that, though, it gets complicated. The message will arrive at a room, a little bigger than this one, nothing special. Some of your people are in this room, surrounded by my men.
Enough of this.
They pick them at random. No regard for age, gender. In that, I suppose, they're different from you. Not as discriminating. They tied them up, one by one, blindfolded them. We had to maintain order, you understand?
You bastard.
Go. When they hear that, my men will pick one of your people and infect them with a parasite. Your parasite.
It won't work on my people.
True, The vocal cord parasite doesn't respond to your language. But what about English?
An English strain. It exists.
A ring of this bell, and they infect one person. If that person abandons the Navajo language, the English strain will trigger symptoms.
You monster.
So, it's quite simple. Every time I ring the bell, another of your people is infected.
Don't do this.
I don't want to do this. I'd rather not have to ring the bell, which is why I'm hoping you will talk to me.
What do you want? What else could you possibly want?
You know the answer to that. How to prevent the symptoms caused by the parasite.
You cannot control it like some slave. Forget the idea.
Forget it. Unlikely.
I will never tell you. What have you done?
You made me do that.
You black-hearted...
Settle down.
Don't use it again.
Well, that is up to you. All you need to do is tell me what I want. How to prevent the vocal cord parasite's symptoms.
Why? Why do you need to know?
The adult soldiers at Bwale-Amasa are all dead.
What?
The parasite traveled downstream.
How?
It would appear that he was involved. Another demon who woke up from 9 years of slumber. As a result, the vocal cord parasite spread through the village.
I told you this would happen.
It was an unfortunate accident. He is becoming an annoyance. He may stumble upon the truth sooner or later, but I suppose that is really of no consequence. One day, he too will pay for what he has done.
Black Anna. The real demon is you.
You know, this incident made me realize something. You are right. I should have acted with more humility. These creatures cannot be controlled. All the more reason I require a means to stop them.
There is no such way.
Oh, really?
Wait! Don't ring it again.
It is up to you. Out with it!
I see now. There must be more to it than that.
What?
They are in you. You use this land to breed more of my children. And not just here. No. In pursuit of your ethnic cleansers. You sifted through many language strains. Finding hosts. Breeding more and more. You would have been infected in the process. Infected with countless strains. Most likely your mother tongues as well. Romania, Northern Transylvania. You found that one too. Yes, the Hungarian strain. That responds to the CK's dialect.
Silence!
Black Anna. It is you who shall pay.
Is this your retaliation, old man?
Let my people go, and never bother them again. You heard me. What now? What?
Caution. Rain
No!
approaching.
What are you doing?
I am not afraid. I probably have every language strain inside of me. Meaning all the world's languages are already lost to me. But that suits me fine. If need be, I myself can produce whatever strain is needed.
And that means nothing to you. If you are infected, you can never again speak your mother tongue. Otherwise, you will die, as will every one of your countrymen.
A few words here and there won't trigger the symptoms. And besides, the time is not yet right to show this face in my homeland. Not until my revenge is complete. Now...
Stop!
We're out of time. I have to get going. Well...
No! Radiation. It's radiation.
Radiation, of course. So it can be used.
But how much? I do not know.
Radiation denatures their reproductive cells, preventing them from mating.
Same principle as the sterilization technique. The reproductive cells are more sensitive to radiation than the rest of the body. But I have not tested it. There is no telling what mutation could result, or how the host may be affected. Not to mention what could happen if this is done post-infection.
I don't care. This plan goes into action now. As long as it works, the details can wait. You wouldn't be lying to me, of course, old man.
I can guarantee nothing.
I owe you my life. My body has been burned on countless occasions, but it survives, thanks to your children. That is why I trust you.
Then do not repeat my mistake.
What's that?
In the West, it is said that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In the East, it is said the man of flesh brings spiritual power to words. The people knew back then that these creatures carry the gospel. They do not belong in our hands. They must not be touched.
How enlightening. I'll remember that. Consider this my thanks.
What are you?
Catch.
No!
Well then, I'm afraid it really is goodbye this time, Code Talker.
There is no soldier.
Huh. Now where did he run off to? Guess he wasn't as obedient as I thought.
There never was any soldier.
So long.
You! How dare you! I hope you bought a better hamburger this time, Kazuhira.
Right. Well,
The last one was lacking in every way. The patty was too thin, the bun too dry, and the lettuce days old at best.
hey, that was 100% all beef patty, and no shortening in the bun either.
Nature's blessings, unadulterated, in hamburger form. Is that it? But when taste falls short, so does our gratitude to nature. Making such precious blessings unpalatable is sacrilege.
I hate to admit it, but I think you're right. I should have known better than to settle for second best. That's why I had him run some more R&D, develop a new burger. In fact, one of our researchers just dropped by with the latest results. Here it is. See how you like
This we shall see indeed. I thank you for this bounty, Mother Earth.
So, what's the verdict?
Not bad,
And?
but it does not hold a candle to what I ate back home.
Everyone's a critic. Damn it. I was sure the Kobe beef, but maybe we didn't have enough. If we had any more, we're cutting into our profits.
Profits?
We'll be taking a loss on every unit.
What are you talking about?
Huh? Oh, anyway, I'll be back with another round of product.
I will be waiting. Did you say product?
Well, Oz is off to making some good burgers. So, if you can you can probably tell, but these there is a lot of very detailed audio recordings, and the reason why is because I believe that some of this was dialogue recorded and readied for cinematics that got cut from the game.
Please select a mission.
That's why they're in such good detail. And
Please select a landing zone. Heading to Central Africa.
alright, we got some new toys to play. I forgot, she's missing. Give me that bandana. Awesome.
Deploying.
There we go. Sweet bandana, bruh. The quiet's missing. Gotta go find her. Good doge. Load?
Plant expansion complete. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Alright, let's reorganize this.
Staff assigned.
Good.
Please specify a project.
Wait a minute. Where?
Please specify a project.
Why did that... It finished.
Please select a drop point. Please specify a project.
That's weird. Alright, Doge, let's go.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Alright. There we go. Start marking them. What? There's no way it saw me. Behind a damn mountain. Holy shit. No way that helicopter saw me.
What happened?
That was complete bullshit. Cockpit was behind the fucking mountain. Jesus, that's not hitting. You gotta be kidding me.
Analysis complete.
Really?
That should... That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
I'm getting tired of this helicopter. Piece of trash. Oh, it just pulls out the shield. Perfect timing.
Distract him.
I don't understand why the difficulty has skyrocketed on this mission alone. Out of nowhere, their detection is all goofy. Down the whole game, rarely getting spotted by helicopters. They're essentially blind, and all of a sudden now they're seeing me around mountains. Dude, that is the side of his head. You could not hit a guy in the face anymore. Alright, so like just no bullet drop. Alright. Doing a little bit better this time. Get off of it! How? How is this? Come on. Oh, there it goes. Taking this gun, too. Piece of trash.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Rev Fresh, how you doing? Welcome. Been a while. Back up the ladder. Not what I wanted. Where's my gun? Doing okay? Good, good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Plucking away at the History of Gaming series Metal Gear. Jesus Christ. I dropped 2 of the wrong weapons up here. My sleeper pistol's missing now. There it is. Woo! Nice! Thanks for the host. Appreciate that. Bloodborne. Bloodborne's fantastic. One of the best games for PlayStation 3. 4. PlayStation 4.
You gotta extract him.
There we go.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Help me!
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's the target.
Up with a messed up thumbstick? I mean, any game probably gonna be rough like that.
Okay, subject is in.
Alright, they're pulling me out after that.
List updated.
So something's up. Let's see what it is.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Code Talker examined everyone here, and one of us is infected. It's quiet. It was our cutting-edge MRI that finally revealed it. But we don't know what language strain it is. Get back to base. Time for her to talk. You know the room number. 101.
You ready to talk? Anything? Still living up to her name. How about you drop the act? Who infected you with a parasite? We can't let her talk. Put it back. All I want's a name. That won't trigger anything. Tell me. Tell me! Your lungs have been barbecued. There's traces of rubbing alcohol in your alveoli. This was found adhered to your lungs, intact. A petal. White Star of Bethlehem. The hospital. Skullface sent you to Cyprus to kill Snake. You were burned inside and out. That should have been the end of it. But, all things considered, you look pretty damn healthy to me. We have Skullface to thank for that, right?
I was the only one capable of applying them to parasite therapy. Until he stole them from me.
Why are you here? Did Skullface send you? Or did you have your own score to settle with the boss? Refreshing? Salt water.
No! She'll die!
His life isn't yours to take. Enough.
That's enough.
If she wanted to kill the boss, he'd already be dead. Same goes for us. She's had plenty of chances. She can talk. She's not here to kill anyone. We're wasting your time. It doesn't matter why she's here. She works for you now. She's in love with the legend.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? For you? Go on all day.
Boss.
Let her go. She won't speak, so she can't spread the infection.
I need her out there sniping. God damn it, Kaz. You know how hard it is without her clearing out a whole base for me? Sorry, quiet. I didn't know they were gonna get kinky without me, I'm sorry. Oh shit.
Napagitin Tish? Mish Nagitin Ti.
Oh.
Idiki Blak Anat E.
Oh. Ako kode jisdesni.
Dne Bizad.
Belagana gesnita. Tatobe yasteta. Asetota. Dodoにした。dodoにした。
There it is. That is where the third English virus was. It's in Quiet. That's the whole reason she came to the base. She was sent there to kill everybody. She refuses to speak it. Why does she refuse to speak it? Because of a theme that we've been having happen since Metal Gear Solid 3. And that is when somebody who is kind of on the fence but is supposed to be the bad guy to the boss comes across the boss and the boss spares that person's life, they fall in love with the legend. We just heard Ocelot say it, and it was what happened to him back in Groznygrad, and it's what's happening with Quiet now. When people come across the boss and they see what he's capable of doing and see how he's such a great leader and how he's this legend, they fall in love with him. They have to support him. They can't be his enemy. I think that's awesome. I think it's a fantastic little twist. She's supposed to get caught, but Her opinion changed.
I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
All Snake had to do was just be Snake.
Some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel teams are looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your side ops list as it comes in. You need to locate and secure those kids.
Alright.
Try to find out what happened.
Kids went missing. I got her back. Now, the reason why she did speak there was because the conversation that they were having was in the Navajo, I think it was, language, which does not have a parasite strain for it, so there's nothing to worry about. What is this? Dang. Oh. Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, so now we got, like, just tons of missions. See, let's get this audio tape out of the way.
Boss, we gave Ralph, that kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea. The man in charge of that facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into choppers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. These kids were born in a war zone and forced to grow up as war fighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die. But I thought we showed them there are other reasons to live. I never liked having children on Mother Base, but the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach. It makes me think of Chico, 9 years ago. We have to get those kids back. Hell, they know too much about our operation. I never expected even the kids to betray us.
Specify a project.
Alright. So. Do it for the kids! Do it for the kids! We're gonna go out. We gotta get those kitties. Oh, buddy equipment. What can we...
Specify a project.
There's 2 things for the robot. Ballista. What? Bolt extraction ballista. I forgot all about that. And what we got going on? Gray XOF. Yes. Combat unit prioritized.
Staff assigned.
On the Hoppa Choppa.
Roger.
Whoa! Ah! How dare you? Come here. There you go, man. That's what Quiet's whole mission was. To spread the English strain upon our beautiful mother base, our outer haven. Outer heaven, actually. Outer haven's different. Okay.
Mission
Boss,
list
I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid. Boss, some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel teams are looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your side ops list as it comes in.
Africa.
You need to locate and secure those kids. I'll try to find out what happened.
Man, I always feel bad for D-Horse. Like, I just don't level him up ever. Okay, now see, I missed something here. Here it is. It wasn't there before. Alright, now this is gonna be neat. I have equipped a wormhole Fulton extractor. Yeah, that's right. I'll be like, bloop, and then a wormhole's gonna open and shit's gonna teleport straight the fuck out. First thing not nailed down, I'm gonna show you guys how it works. Hey, don't be judging the wormhole extractor. It's amazing. Now let's get that combat unit up.
Commencing platform construction.
Be careful down there, boss.
Alright, girl. I need you to scout this location. Goes right over the top of the mountain. Beautiful.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has infiltrated our map has been updated.
Those dingoes damn near ate my baby. Watch this, watch this. Wow. Amazing. Oh yeah.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Boss, you need to find those kids who escaped. Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting killed.
Boss, you gotta find the children. Boss, the children. You gotta do it for the children. You gotta go in. You gotta find the kids. You gotta stick them through a wormhole.
Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Night, night.
He's coming too. Roger that.
It's a fake. What's that? You don't think the wormhole's big enough to take this out of here? Guess what? It is! Kids out of here. From inside the building. Because we got the wormhole extraction. See how much easier this is?
Chief Side Ops list updated.
Okay, Subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Surprise, mother trucker! Why? I'm just a guy. Whoa, I never knew you could shoot down electrical lines. Dude, all these years and fucking Metal Gear is still surprising me. Ugh. Where's the Hopper Chopper at? Woo! He's down. He's sleeping. Is he worth extracting?
Analysis complete.
Fuck yeah, he is. Holy shit. Don't get all mad. Don't get all mad. Just calm down. I'm just here to do this. And this.
You gotta extract him.
I'm gonna extract them all, Kaz. CP, they're just coming out of nowhere. One of them shooting us in the head with sleepy bullets. The other one's teleporting us out with these wormholes. It's weird, boss. You need to get down there.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Give me this. This mine? This mine? This is what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps. Anybody get that reference? That's a reference within a reference. This is what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps. God damn it, Larry. Yeah. Did I just ride that wormhole out of there? You bet your sweet ass I did.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Yeah, I know. Meet a stranger in the Alps? Nobody? Nobody knows? Alright, your guys' loss.
Snake, you remember the White Mamba? Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
Staff assigned.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
Forget it. You're not needed. Snake, we'll want to question the other kids too. Be sure to bring them all back.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Ocelot on that one. You don't need to be asking these kids questions. Kind of a dick.
Unit dispatched.
Gonna hold a gun to their teddy bear. Where are they?
Please select a landing zone.
Don't say me like that. Oh yeah! Let's do this. Let's go kidnap, re-kidnap us a kid? It was our kid to begin with. Well, it wasn't. It was somebody else's kid, but they got turned into a child soldier, so whatever. But we were the first one to kidnap this child. And then these bad guys kidnapped our kidnappee, so we're gonna re-kidnap our kidnapped kidnapper kid. Take the kid back, put him in nap. Nap the kid, kidnap. Need water.
The map has been updated.
I see you. Where's those goats going?
Be careful down there, boss.
Somebody call PETA. Good, yeah, this is good.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
What is in there?
Has infiltrated our the map has been updated.
And I got enemies behind me? Interesting.
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Kids? Plural?
Enemy
Are they having a
presence
sleepover?
detected. The map has been updated.
We'll find the children. We'll extract the children.
Analysis. Enemy presence detected. The map has been
Oh,
updated.
buddy, you're coming home.
The map has been updated.
Alright, there's two guys in there. Fell asleep a little quick for me. Surprise, mother trucker.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Look at this guy. Oh, he's got an S in engineering. I love it. Yeah.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Uh-huh. What's wrong with this guy?
Analysis complete.
I don't know, he's a decent fighter though. To home you go! Go to bed.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Where's the children?
You gotta extract him.
Oh, come on. Alright.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
I think I can hear the kids.
Roger that.
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Shut up, kid.
You gotta extract him. Boss, about the kids. It appears there's a movement among them to organize against us. I can think of only one person.
Whoa, come on! What happened to my CQC combo?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Everybody's coming. These are the rules. I sent you guys a memo. Didn't you get the memo? Anybody who sees the boss joins the boss.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Or dies. I mean, I could kill you too. But... Who saw me?
Begin cover fire.
Just light them up. Oh, God.
You gotta extract him.
There's no casualties. Well, I mean, technically there's casualty. If you look at the true definition of the word casualty. You're right. Isn't there like a... I like this gun. Coming home with me.
Outpost captured.
It ain't no thing. Now, is there a guy out here? No? Yes, right here. We did it, chat. We saved the children.
You gotta extract him.
The children saved. Now. Oh man. Gonna try and climb inside the truck as it... They're like, where'd everybody go?
Analysis complete.
This guy's kind of trash.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Alright, back to the ACC. Nice. Nice. Oh, boy. Let me see. What time we got? 12:30. Another an hour and a half of Metal Gear.
Snake, about the escaped children. Eli confessed.
Uh-huh.
The way he tells it, they wanted to go back to the battlefield.
Uh-huh.
Don't rob them of their freedom, he said. If you bring them all back, there will be consequences. Next to be asking for our surrender.
Consequences? What consequences?
No idea. That's all I have for now.
You're too attached to those kids. Stop protecting Eli.
Listen to yourself.
Let me question him, and we'll get some real answers.
Not necessary. I'll report as and when.
If he would just let him do that, we wouldn't get this weird relationship between Ocelot, Liquid Snake, and Metal Gear Solid 1.
Staff assigned.
Stop. Signed. Challenge. Nice, nice. Play those intel tapes. Alright.
Please select a mission.
52 minutes until this mission is done. So, do.
Unit dispatched.
Got one. Oh my god, so many children.
Please select a heading to Afghanistan.
Do I really want to drop, like, right into it? I think I
Heading
do.
to Afghanistan.
Let's get weird.
Deploying.
Ah! Hey, it's tough getting used to no coffee. Put one in the chamber. 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 Dog, it's a bear. I need it.
Be careful down there, boss.
Get the bear!
To the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Night, night. Alright. Oh my god. Is there another bear? Oh my god. Put him to sleep.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
I mean, the kid got stuck up in the tower. He got fucking treed by 2 bears. Bye, bear. Still in a dream, snake eater.
Updated.
Israelian, I believe is how you pronounce that. I am not using an Xbox. This is on PC. Oh, we have an Xbox. I mean, we got every console that ever console, but this is on PC though.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Alright, let's reorganize them.
Staff assigned.
No changes to this cassette tape.
Boss, we found weapons in the children's section of the living quarters. As you know, weapons are strictly off limits. We've got some rule breakers. The weapons we found were handmade. Blades ground out of knives and forks, a couple of bow guns built out of scrap, and explosives made using detergents. And get this, the explosives were tightly packed with nails. The kids put the blame on, you guessed it, Eli. I guess that's what he meant by consequences.
I questioned him about it. But this time he claimed they want to be put out on missions. Send us to the battlefield, he says.
Miller, enough is enough. You've protected him too much already. It's my turn to question him.
Protected?
What Eli's doing is issuing a threat. Comply with my demands or I'll respond with force. But it'll be war at this rate. Forks and soap aren't gonna kill us, but some of them will end up dead. Is that what you want? Now, I hate to say it, but they want to be on the battlefield. It's time you gave up this fantasy.
Eli, he said they'd rise up against us if we bring the last kid back.
There, you see? Ignore his demands. Don't let him return to quarters. That attitude is contagious. We lose control over them for good.
For the time being, we've confiscated those handmade weapons. We're bumping up security and the number of psychiatric counselors. As for Eli,
he needs some very special care.
You mean solitary?
Well, we can't leave him in contact with the other kids. If you won't do it, I will. Boss, keep working on extracting those kids.
I'm with, like, Otacon on this all the way through and through. Like, totally. Got his back on this. Making some good money doing this, though. Take a look at the base. Let's see if we can upgrade the base in some manner.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base facilities. Can't do anything yet.
Plans approaching.
Biological material, fuel resource. It's not the money that's the issue this time around. It's the bits and pieces that go along with it. We'll figure that out. Now see... Does this mean it increases us? I don't know. Just don't know.
Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone.
Let's go!
Deploying.
Nothing, nobody? You know what? Whatever. I'm working on an outfit for you. For you. You're gonna wear it and you're gonna be happy. Tired of you being around here with no clothes on all the time. Woo! I love this little hand. This hand's the best. Hideo Kojima put out a tweet the other day, and he's got a real big life-size one of these sitting on his desk, I think at his home, or maybe it's his office. Real cool. Real jelly. Wish I had that. Signed by somebody, and I always wonder, Kojima, who the fuck you getting shit signed by? You're Kojima. Who's signing your Metal Gear stuff? Maybe Kiefer Sutherland signed it for him? I don't know.
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Buddy has infiltrated. Our map has been updated.
Waiting for him to fall asleep. He's out, he's out. Whoa, Neo here.
The map has been updated. Analysis.
Any good? Pretty good. Alright, cover me.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to
She
slip
got
past enemies.
beat me to it.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Yeah, that's a dummy. Alright.
You gotta extract him. Leave the rest to us.
Okay, I need to find a way. There's my way up. I have her on covering fire, so she should kill, well, trank anybody comes in to support these guys. How do I get up? Get him, girl! Balloon of infinite flying. What's up, Sansicle? Watch this shit. Oh, wormhole. Swoop.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Sir! He went up into the devil's anus.
You gotta extract him.
My lord. Yo, kid. Night, night. Night, night. Night, night. Go to bed. Go to bed. It's bedtime.
Post captured. Side op completed. Side ops
Okay,
left.
subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
And on the 9th day, because there's totally 9 days, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, Snake descended upon the earth and said, "It is nap time," and he handed out naps. And the naps were glorious. They slept deeply. Oh, this guy right here needs to go. Coming with us. Get in the wormhole. I want this gun. This is mine now.
He's coming too. Roger that.
And I want your Jeep. Jeep is mine. Now, let's see. Is there anything in here? To make sure we're not missing any items. Boop. Oh shit.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Give it to him, medium style. Piece of this? Oh, piece of this? I killed the man. About a new threat. Well, shoot it in the head. Nothing. Nada. Bupkis. Alright, back to the ACC. Be right back. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
It all arrived at Mother Base. So good.
The kids you brought back to base have laid out the situation. They all escaped to each of their home villages, or were trying to get home, and lost their way. Not that homesickness is gonna explain everything we've seen.
Each of their home villages. They were trying to raise troops for the rebellion.
You really think these kids have an armed uprising in them?
You read the report of the security team member who had a rock thrown at him. There'll be a riot if we don't do something. And Miller, this is because you didn't act fast enough.
Fine. I'll admit you were right this time.
Seal off the kids' quarters from outside contact before it's too late.
All right.
Eli said his rebellion would start when the last kid is brought back, right? You better be ready to meet him head on if it really happens.
Yeah.
You should have left it to me in the first place.
Okay, so the children are acting out.
Boss, they're just kids. We have a responsibility to see that those kids make it. It's not about feeling protective or the pros and cons. I hate kids. That's exactly what I heard from the people who raised me. People who abandoned me, more like. That's the spark that kept me going, you know? I wanted to show those adults what I was made of. Wanted to get back at them one day. But before I knew it, I was all grown up. Never saw it coming. All of a sudden, people treated me as an adult. Some adult I turned out to be. But I feel like if my life had been different, if the adults I knew had been different, I could have grown up better. Yeah, that's it, all right. I wanted to use those kids to test that theory. That's all this was. From their point of view, I'm no different from the assholes who gave me a hard time. When this is all blown over, I'll talk it out with them. If that's still possible. Boss, there are still kids out there. Bring them back safe.
You know, this is a lot about your emotions.
Eli's revealed what he wants. He wants to speak with you. With Big Boss. He just said, bring my father here. Eli's too smart for his own good. No way to tell what he's thinking. All we know for sure is his men are important to him. That means we can use the escaped kids as leverage in any negotiation. Once you've brought the last one back, I'll interrogate him. If the kids do rise up, we'll meet them full force. End of story. I didn't want things to turn out like this. We could have prevented it, but it's too late now. If Eli means to take this all the way, he's gonna force us to do the same. Boss, go get that last kid.
Alright. So our helicopter been getting covered with stuff as we've been playing. Alright, let's go get the children.
Please select a landing zone.
Yeah, we're good.
Deploying
to Wham Bam Bambalam. Alrighty. I love that bandana. God, I wish I could buy a bandana like that. It's so hard to find something like that on the internet. You can't find, like, a fat band, like... Just can't find it. Because if you search, what are you going to search for? Bandana? Well, bandanas comes in squares. They're not a strip of fabric like that. Then what else do you search for? Headband? Then you get like sweatbands for your forehead and shit. Finish the game today? No. I honestly think we got like at least another week of this game. The thing is I'm working towards like probably like another hour worth of dialogue and story that is critical. Like heavy story stuff. And you just have to go through all these side missions to get to it. But this game had a lot of big reveals into it. It shows you Liquid Snake as a kid. It shows you Psycho Mantis as a kid. It shows you what happened to what's his face? Volgin. And there's still one really, really, and I mean really big twist to this game that we haven't hit yet.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, her body is genetically, Quiet's body is genetically made to be like an amazing sniper. So she doesn't actually breathe through her lungs, she breathes through her skin so that she can snipe without having to actually move her body to breathe, which is what messes up most snipers. But there's such a thing as loose-fitting clothing, you whore. We covered her in gold paint and she was fine. That killed an actual human being in the past who could breathe with their lungs. Alright,
The map has been updated.
Cover me. Start murdering. Yeah, wow indeed. There is a lot of gameplay to this game. There's a lot to it.
The escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
People say like, oh, there wasn't enough game. There was tons of game. This game's actually probably the longest. It's easily the longest Metal Gear that we've done in the series. It's taken the most number of days for me to finish. The problem is that the hours you spend is so much gameplay and so little story, and that's what people are used to with Metal Gear. They're used to like copious amounts of dialogue and story and talking and stuff. And this game is the exact opposite, which is kind of funny. It's what everybody complained about before. There's too much talking in Metal Gear games. You don't have enough game, blah, 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 blah. And then when they make a game that's a shit ton of gameplay and very little story, it's a problem again. Can't make the world happy, man. Everybody's gonna be disappointed with everything that you do forever. Ooh, what is up? These guys, they're zombies.
He's coming too. Roger that.
What is up? 100%, yeah. We're definitely not going for a 100% run.
Leave the rest to us.
But I am going. There's a few things. There's a couple Easter eggs I still want to show. There's one massive story element that I want to make sure we show. And I'm working my way towards that stuff. But I mean, it takes a long time, though. This game has a lot of content.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
So this is where your zombies from Metal Gear Survive came from. These guys. Yeah, I think so. Like on average, when we did the Metal Gear series, we were beating games on the 4th or 5th day, and I put anywhere from 5 to 8 hours into each one of those days. Yeah, roughly around 40 hours is the length of a Metal Gear game, and this one's like, if you want to get to the big like storyline reveal at the end of it, it's like close to like 50, 60 hours. Like, this game takes a lot.
Roger that. Boss, I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
I've dispatched the security team to get the researchers out. I'll keep you updated.
Okay, so now we had a radiation leak after we get the last kid back home. Eli's up to some shit. He's starting some nonsense. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, I think Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the better Metal Gears. Like, and the thing is I don't think any Metal Gear is bad. I just don't. We haven't played Survive, but I'm not counting that as a Metal Gear. I'm talking about Kojima hands-on Metal Gears. I think that 2 is my least favorite. I have a lot of fun with 2. 2 is a good time. I just don't like Raiden's character in 2. I do like who Raiden turns into eventually, but I don't like him in 2. The 2, I have the least amount of fun sitting down and playing. 5, I have a lot of fun playing. Almost as fun as completely replaying Twin Snakes over and over. I really enjoy just turning on Twin Snakes and playing through Twin Snakes. I enjoy the hell out of 3, I enjoy the hell out of 4, and I enjoy the hell out of this one. This is not a bad Metal Gear. You get a lot of content for the money you spend on it. I would even venture to say that everybody was so upset with the Ground Zeroes pay for a glorified demo. I would say the amount of content in Metal Gear Solid 5 more than makes up for that, in my opinion. I think whatever we didn't get for our $20 or whatever it was we spent on Ground Zeroes, we get refunded in spades on that with the extra content that we get over the $60 mark in Metal Gear Solid 5. Is the story where I wanted it? Nah. I wish there was definitely more story, especially with it being the last of the Metal Gears. But it was good though. Super good. Yeah, that's true. They are giving away Metal Gear Solid 5 for free on Xbox with Gold right now. Any of you that have an Xbox and want to play this game, definitely jump on it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you go through and you keep doing like the mission, like all the extra stuff that you can do with it, it was totally worth $20 to me. Like, it was worth more than that. But if you go through and you play the map one time, it was a little short. I would have said 15. A little short of that. But it's got a lot of good things there. And I wasn't upset when I got a hold of Ground Zeroes because I was super excited for 5 and I was waiting on it. And I knew that we were changing the way the game worked a lot in Metal Gear Solid 5, the control scheme and all that. I knew we were going kind of like heavy shooter as compared to like isometric or like tank controls and all these weird things that we've done in the past with Metal Gear. So I happily spent the money on Ground Zeroes, picked it up, and played it to really get myself trained to the new control scheme. It was about me learning. It was about me getting good at Metal Gear before 5 came out. Right, let's head back to the ACC. Ugh. Bunch of rough diamonds. We just made like a ton of money on that run. Diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough. Alright.
At Mother Base.
Something going on.
I have a quick report for you here.
You already told me.
Discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform.
Already told me.
Equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there. But we'll
22 minutes.
them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
Those are all 5 minutes. That's good.
Please select a mission.
Let's go do Extraordinary while we're waiting for the game to generate like the next child mission.
Boss, we need you to get back a film canister one of our informants hid in the field. He was working under my orders to investigate the extraordinaries that showed up in Cyprus. The man on fire and the floating boy that keeps showing up where they're not welcome. Apparently they were the subjects of some top-secret research conducted by the Kremlin. Unfortunately, that meant our informant drew the attention of the KGB's Directorate S, and they took him out before we could make contact. The good news is he placed a report in a film canister and hid it somewhere in Spookmake Keep. Just before he died, he transmitted VI of the hiding place to us.
Oh, I thought I would keep going. All other files do. Yeah, we're gonna get a... Yeah, no problem. Like, we'll go get it. We'll get that film canister, don't even worry about it. Metal Gear, man. Such a good frickin' series. I've enjoyed streaming all of it. And we do need to go back and re-stream a couple of them because of the lost content. But, man, this is a fantastic series.
Boss, retrieve the film canister our informant hid in Spookmake Keep before he died.
Spookmake.
Vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data, but there's no time to wait. A KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spookmake Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden.
We lost a lot of video. We lost
the target before the enemy does.
the series introduction, the stream, like the first day stream. We lost Metal Gear 1, we lost Metal Gear 2, we lost all of Metal Gear Solid 1 on Twitch. I was keeping the episodes on Twitch for the longest time, and then after a month, I would port them over to YouTube to try and drive Twitch engagement more so than YouTube engagement. Get people to go in and watch the highlights and watch the episodes I created here on Twitch. To, you know, be a good Twitch streamer. Be a good, support the Twitch logo and all that jazz, and brand marketing, all that shit. And then they accidentally went through and deleted, like, this 2-week chunk of just videos for everybody. Partners, affiliates, doesn't matter who it was. Just everybody's videos just got deleted from this chunk. And all the highlights thereof and all the clips thereof. And the poor Magni, he's getting upset. I have to check on him here in a second. It just deleted everything. So I had uploaded Metal Gear 1 and the stream intro to YouTube, so that is uploaded. But Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear Solid 1 both lost, and I have it nowhere. So I have to, at the very least, restream those two, and then port them over to YouTube, but then I'll have the gap of Metal Gear 1 missing from Twitch, but I can maybe, like, try to find a way to download it from YouTube and then re-upload it to Twitch. I don't know how I'm going to handle that one. I kind of don't want to re-stream Metal Gear 1.
Cover fire.
Enemy analysis complete. The map analysis complete.
That was close. I thought she took him out. Oh, buddy, I'm coming. He is upset. Alright. We'll come back to this fight here in a second. I gotta check on the little pupper. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go nowhere! thank you for the follow, Israelian. May the 7th be with you. That we're... Little Magni giving me some whimpers. He wants some attention. Don't bite me. Hey, don't. No. I want to be played with. I'm bored. You don't like it when Daddy has to work and your mama has to work, huh? Yeah, say Mom's been on sabbatical and was hanging out with me every day. But I know. And see, now Mom's back to work, so Dad's ignoring me even though he's home. I know, buddy. No bites. No bites. You know, your life is just so tough. Look at that face. Look at that face. You're adorable. You're adorable. Accept it. It's who you are. You're cute. Everybody likes you. There's nothing you can do about it. No, don't get mad about it. It's who you are. I'm not adorable. I'm a fearsome monster. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, you're too fucking cute, huh? Alright, chat. He had some good howdies. I'm gonna give him playing with a toy and let him lay down. Alrighty, we're good. He's a little bit hungry, a little bit lonely. He did the cutest thing. He took him out, fed him, because it's around his lunchtime. And I walked away to go clean something up in the living room. And when I did, he looked up and realized I was missing. And so he started whining. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Came around the corner, he was all excited.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Come on.
You gotta extract him.
Oh shit, there's more people. No, 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 no.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Jesus. Alright. Get as many of these people out of here as I can.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Come on, Snake. It's a little ledge.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
No, come on, man!
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Damn helicopter.
Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does.
You have arrived at your destination. Clouds approaching.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Okay.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Okay, good.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I almost got these guys. Yeah, nobody's there, huh? Piece of shit. I almost got through that without detection.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Alright, get the mortar. No, no. Get the mortar out of here. I don't want him using it on me. Found the film canister.
Completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated. Analysis complete.
Subject on board.
Oh,
Leave the
shit.
rest to us.
Suck it, D-bag. Alright, now let's get out of here.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Pah! That's them spray painting our car.
All right, mission complete, boss. Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh?
Legendary soldier! He's a boaster, though. Looked it up, it's about 100 hours for 100%. I would bet it's even, I mean, that's kind of speedrunning in my opinion. If you're...
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We received a new job offer. The details are on your iDroid. That's the target.
I feel like if you were taking your time and 100%, it'd be a lot more than 100 hours. The thing is I don't understand why gamers do this, but they do. On some games, they like to lie about how many hours they played the game. And then on other games, they lie about how quick they beat the game. Like, people lie about how much time they've played Skyrim all the time. They're like, yeah, dude, I put, like, 3,000 hours into Skyrim. I'm like, you have not. Guarantee it. You have not put 3,000 hours into it.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
And then people will be like, oh, yeah, dude, I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 in, like, 30 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, like, usually when they get the play hours, it's just, like, user-submitted stuff. I do find that, there's two different sites. I like one better than the others. But it's probably close to, like, 150 hours, I'd bet. If you were taking your time with it and really enjoying the game and got stuck on a few parts. Like a normal human.
Extract him. He's coming too. Roger that.
Where you going, Shep? Shep for what? Oh, come on. Bit of an inside joke. Nobody knows what I'm talking about with that ship for what thing. Alright, is that 7 out of 7? Okay.
Side ops list updated.
I did it.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Let's do this! Go back to the ACC and see how things are doing. Blink.
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We received a new job offer. The details are on your iDroid.
We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus. Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during the transport flight to Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The Third Boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the Third Boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us. Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The man on fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the Third Boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the Third Boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there?
Oh shit.
Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one.
So what he's talking about right there is specifically the last boss battle we have with Sahelanthropus, where we go inside that area and it comes to life and it crushes the man on fire and it turns on Skullface, pinning him down with that, like, electrical tower thing and killing him. And then it's, like, hyper-focused on me for the rest of the fight, trying to kill me, trying to kill me, trying to kill me. It's because somebody else that was present during the fight snuck on a chopper. Eli.
We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgin and Skullface. The third boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him. So what kickstarted the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was comatose. There, Volgin's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgin became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke, or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall, experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. And eventually the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Heavy shit there. So in short, they find out about this kid who has powers, Psycho Mantis, and they're transporting him. And what they do is they happen to fly over the hospital that Big Boss is inside of. And when they do, the Big Boss being in a coma is emitting this rage. And that rage was picked up by the kid like a radio signal. Set him off. Gave him the powers that he has. Didn't give it to him. Awoke the powers that he already had. And they say, alright, well this is some bad news. Let's take him back to somewhere safe. And they take him back to a Russian base where they can watch him. And where they're watching him is too close to Volgin's body. Who also has a bunch of rage.
Old timer?
Old timer. I do not get hungry. No. But you have a new hamburger?
You guessed it. And this time we use lamb.
Lamb.
You're not a lamb kind of guy?
A hamburger is made of beef. Whoever heard of a hamburger without beef?
Yeah, but we gotta stay fresh. Stand out from our competition.
You're what?
Just give it a try.
If you say so.
Right here. Crucial.
Not bad. But I cannot call this a hamburger.
I thought we were onto something this time. Maybe the problem is that it looks like a regular hamburger. Gotta think outside the box. Too much baggage if they come in expecting just another burger. Let's see. Cotton candy? To make it look like a sheep? Yeah.
Just a minute. You really think people would eat that? What is it you are planning?
Please select a landing zone.
Are you using me?
Heading to
The taste
Central
tester.
Africa.
A one-man focus group?
We'll pick that up here in a second. Get that vehicle out of here. It's gonna cost too much to deploy it. Omskis. Yeah, see, she looks all cool now. Like a badass. Alright, we gotta go in and get a wandering mother base sold. Everybody calm down. We'll get back to the crucial plot about the hamburger here in a minute. Fine. Fine. Crucial hamburger plot. I'm just covered in blood. Covered in blood.
Development project has been added.
Feeling hungry? Old timer?
Old.
Yeah.
Just a minute. You really think people would eat that? What is it you are planning? Are you using me? A taste tester? A one-man focus group?
Well, actually, I've already started. I got a place called, Miller's Maxi Buns.
You are kidding me.
Well, to be honest, business hasn't been great. No one seems to like my, buns.
The Ocelot said Diamond Dog's budget did not add up. But you don't mean to tell me.
What? No. Our black budget's got it all covered. I'm not embezzling GMP or anything. Still, let's not say anything to Snake, okay?
Very well.
Has infiltrated
However,
and the map has been updated.
Kazuhira, it takes more than premium ingredients and a clever recipe to satisfy the palate.
Okay, so what do we do?
The palate seeks one thing. Chemical additives.
Chemical additives.
There is nothing mysterious or spiritual about good flavor. The tongue simply identifies specific amino acids, which the brain then recognizes as appealing. Therefore, all that is needed is to chemically isolate those amino acids and incorporate them into your products. To be clear, I speak of flavor. The rest is irrelevant.
That seems a little extreme.
Do not forget that I am a scientist after all. And using science for the benefit of others is a joy in seeking coexistence with nature's blessings. Not everything can remain in its natural form. When we fall ill, we must be treated. Otherwise, that very nature could cost us our lives. Agriculture is one of nature's many blessings. But through that process, we damage the surrounding vegetation.
Yeah. Whether it's a massive farm or a tiny field, we always leave our mark on the land.
The same is true of parasites. And for food preparation. If tapeworms in the raw meat of another animal enter the human body, they roam around trying to find their usual habitat. Sometimes even eating away at the brain in their confusion. So in looking through a scientific point of view, you see the necessity for processing food. Yes, it is also sometimes necessary to eliminate certain parasites, or selectively use or even modify others. Alternatively, we could say that if a man is part of nature, the work he does is also part of it. What is important is the balance.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, old-timer. You really opened my eyes. I fooled myself into thinking people today wanted high-quality, all-natural goods. But my favorite burgers were never about that. What they want is something like the first burger I had in America when I went to meet my dad. A Frankenburger loaded with additives. That's the America I knew and loved. I'll be back in a jiffy, old-timer. My next burger's gonna knock your socks off.
Kazuhira, wait. What is important is how we balance the... quick for a one-legged man. Frankenburger. What kind of a diet did your old man take you to?
Indeed. Alright, we got, like, blown away by that guy. I don't think Quiet liked that I sent her out. Did you detect him, boy? I don't know what is going on with this guy. I can't ever spot him.
Boss!
Marker placed.
Alright, you dick.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Try this again.
Analysis.
That's the target. I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Needs to get into that position in case he wakes up. I'm not taking chances jumping that little ledge there. Now I want a burger with chemical additives. That sounds amazing.
Side op completed.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
We're out of there. We didsed it. We didsed it.
Side ops list updated.
Costa Rica.
Please select a mission.
6 minutes.
Please select a heading to Afghanistan.
To Afghanobam. Slamistan. Big Bambino Bam. Get this guy, bring him home. He needs to be home. Been out there for a long time. Diamond Dogs.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Where is he? Did I look in the wrong direction?
Buddy has infiltrated analysis. The map
That's the target.
updated.
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Damn it. Thought I had him.
The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Go. Farther down? Whoa! Rocking some active camo on me.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
You know what?
Analysis complete.
Those guys got some good stats.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Arrived at Mother Base.
Begin cover fire.
Guard post captured.
Take him and him.
You gonna extract him?
Yeah, someone extract him. Did my sheep ever get back? I don't remember seeing a notification for me. I probably just missed it. Go. Challenge task list.
Development project has been added.
Do a new Hand of Jehuti.
Please specify a project.
Do we want it? Rocket control special.
Staff assigned.
Staff assigned. Alright, we're good there.
Extraction arrived at Mother Side Ops list updated. Please
Alright,
select
we're done
a
with
mission.
this? 62%, Jesus. 20% losses though. I don't know.
Please select a mission. Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone.
Holy shit, look at that. That looks cool.
Deploying.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Good doggo. I don't know. You guys like the dog with his artificial eye or his eye patch? When he's got his eye patch on, it's like an angel gave birth to a pirate. He's a pirate angel.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
He's right. Oh my god. Right behind us.
That's the target. I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Eh. What's his stats look like?
Analysis complete. Side op completed.
You gonna extract him?
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Football! A football memento. Okay, so now there's one that's left. Oh no, it didn't give me the mission for him. Damn.
Please select a mission. Please select a mission.
Okay.
We're having Code Talker continue his parasite research. He's clearly very grateful to you. I'm sure he'll return the favor somehow.
Alright, let's do... How do you return to Mother Base again? Return to Mother Base.
Please select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base.
Heading to Mother Base. Let's see if we got stinky enough. I don't think we did. We didn't see... I'm not seeing flies. But this whole game without taking a shower. Never got that cinematic. Oh.
Hey. Eyes on Kazuhira. A message from the parasites.
That's how Kaz is keeping his eye on the whole base now. Through the parasites. Good stuff. And make. Alright, cool. Well, that's gonna wrap up this episode of History of Gaming Metal Gear. We put in a good solid 4 hours. I am going to take my lunch break here, and then we'll be back. And when we come back, we'll be playing Thrones of Britannia, the Total War Saga, what appears to be their episodic style of adding to their game list. But if you're here for the episode and you're watching this in the future, I thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. If you're here for the stream, don't go nowhere. The stream's nowhere close to being over. We'll see you in just a minute. All right, good episode. Last episode.